Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are not new here, and if you are new, my name is Kiki. Welcome, girl. We about to get into some things. Client tutorial in the building. Oh my god, I know it's been a minute. It's been a little while, and I'm happy with it. It's been a long time since I posted like a client tutorial and genuinely been happy with it. But she's a good one. Okay, I'm really excited about it. So I had a client come in last weekend. I'm looking at it on my phone, but I'll put it on the screen somewhere, probably like behind me or something, or I don't know, child, but y'all gonna see it. Anyway, this was a birthday client, Libra season, but Libra season is over now. Birthday client, she was wearing all white and she booked Jim's Glam, and she said that she wanted to look angelic. So this is the look that I did. I've done this look a whole bunch of times, with or without gems. So I did the exact same look. I made no changes, with the same products and everything. Only minor changes that I made, adjustments, you know, because they have, the model and the client have different facial structures. Other than that, we use the same thing. So we are going to get into the video. Alright, so starting off, I am just going in with some loose setting powder. I'm going to brush that through her eyebrows very lightly. I was saying that I was running out of my eyebrow pencil and I had just went to Ulta earlier that day. So yeah, I'm going in with my Benefit brow pencil. This is in number 4. And I'm going to just line the bottom of her eyebrow. I'm not being too heavy-handed. You don't have to be too heavy-handed with the Benefit brow pencil. That's why I really do enjoy the pencils. You can be very light-handed because they're very pigmented and the product applies to the skin very smoothly. So I line the bottom of the eyebrow, and then I'm gonna go ahead and line the top as well. Then just fill in whatever areas that may be sparse. She does have a very full eyebrow, so I don't have to fill in much really. Disclaimer, there was a lot of talking in this video. I hadn't seen her since last year, so we was just like catching up, and like the girls like to talk to me. I cannot help that. I'm a vibe. If you was to come sit in my chair, like, you probably would want to talk to me too. Like, it's good vibes over here. Once I have the eyebrows filled in, I'm just going in with a little bit of lash glue, and I'm just going to focus this lash glue on the outer portion of her eyebrows. I don't know if you could tell in the video, but her brow hairs are a bit, they're not curly, they're like almost curly. They're kind of like unruly, especially towards the tail. The hairs were flipped up and I needed them to, like, you know, lay down. So that's why I was really emphasizing it on the tail of her eyebrow. I don't do the glue on everybody. It's not for everybody, and I do like to see like the hairs in the eyebrow. Like, I feel like when you glue the brow like down flat, it all depends on the look and the client and the brow you're working on, but I just feel like sometimes when those hairs look like completely flat, it takes away from like the real look of like brows. So when somebody does have like a full brow and they have like a lot of brow hairs, I like to kind of let that show through the pencil. Just, I don't know, that texture, it looks good. Like, so I don't want to take away from that too much. So yeah, I'm just using it where I need to use it. And then also for her eyebrows, you could see like she got 2 different brows going on. I just decided the first brow I filled in, that was the brow we was gonna do. The other brow was gonna match that brow because I started with this brow. So yeah, for concealer, I'm going in with the Born This Way concealers by Too Faced, and the darker color that I'm using is Chai, and then the lighter color that I'm using is Warm Sands. I've been using this combination a lot on a lot of my clients. You know, a lot of my clients are brown skin or dark skin women, so this combination I've been using a lot on my clients. Warm Sand is just a really good color to highlight the brow because it kind of reminds me of like a caramel shade. It's just a really, really good color. especially for brow work. And I do like to use the Born This Way concealer specifically for eyebrows. I feel like, especially when y'all, my computer cut off, my bad. But I was saying, I like to use the Born This Way concealer for brow work, especially when I want a really like a dramatic brow, like a pronounced brow, like a brow that's like she's here. And I've been feeling that a lot lately, so this is what I've been using for my brows. I just like it. Like, I feel like you get a good carve of the brow when you're using this concealer. The brush that I'm using, you guys, this brush is coming soon. I cannot wait for y'all to get your hands on this brush. The brush is not going to be pink. I just don't want y'all to see like my brand colors, but y'all, look how flat. Can you see how flat this brush is, child? You see how thin this brush is? Baby, it's like the father for the brow family. You turn to the side, you cannot see it. So this brush is coming soon. I got y'all. She's that girl, okay? So I'm gonna use that to conceal, carve out the brow on the top and the bottom. For the top, I just use whatever is left on my hand. Yes, I'm using my hand as my palette, my workstation. My hand is gonna warm up the product how I want it to be warmed up. Sometimes I use a glove. I haven't really been using gloves lately. It's just an expense. Just going in to blend out the concealer, and I'm using I don't have it here, but it's a Morphe brush. I'm using the Morphe E23, which is just like a fluffy blending brush. I think this is a natural hair brush. I don't even know, child, but she worked real cute to blend out the concealer around the eyebrows. And as you can see in here, because we use the shade that's like slightly darker than what we used to highlight her brow bone, we kind of created like a shadow in the beginning of the eye, which is perfect because you're setting yourself up for your nose contour. So that's why I really do like to use that trick. Like, I've been doing that for you. I'll probably never stop doing it. Like, I've been doing it for years, and like I'll never stop. But once we have everything nice and concealed, I'm gonna go in with the same powder that I use. It's just a mix of Mercier and Sacha Buttercup, and I'm just gonna set that concealer onto her eye. One thing about the Born This Way concealer, child, she don't really be setting like that. You gotta really make sure you set it with a powder. So I'm gonna go in with some lash glue, and I'm gonna use this to just like as a base, I guess, for my white liner. We all know white liner cracks, this and that. So this helps for the white liner to go on smooth. It helps for it not to crack, and it also kind of gives me a guide as to where and how I want to where I'm gonna like apply the white liner. I'm using the NYX eyeliner, and you know that the formula is very like she's thick and she's sticky. So me, I struggle with it because I prefer a liner that's more liquidy. So the glue kind of helps me. Her eye, you can see, is very like shaky. Like, she has like twitchy eyes. It could be because she's wearing contacts. Sometimes my clients with contacts, their eyes can be more sensitive. So yeah. And then you can see like she's blinking really hard. Child, that was doing me in. So the only difference that I'm doing with her, because she has a bigger eye and a larger lid space, I need to bring my liner up slightly higher. So it's going to be slightly thicker than the original look that I did on that girl, because her eyes were smaller. And I always do things to complement the shape of the client's face, the shape of the client's eyes. So in this case, she has a bigger almond shaped eye. I'm going to do my liner to complement her eye shape. I was about to say something, but I forgot. It don't matter, child. It don't even matter. Oh my God, we're like watching this together, y'all. Like, I have my laptop here. That's why I'm looking down, because I'm watching the video and like explaining what I'm doing. Like, but yeah, as you can see, look how I was messing up. First of all, because her eye, you know, was moving. It happens sometimes. It is what it is. And the shape that I'm trying to get, I literally wanted to look like a wing, like an airplane wing. So I'm just trying to like get my shape down. You know what eyeliner you can really do with a wing liner, you can do like so many different shapes. I was trying to get like that, like I guess like angel wing, because the girl kept saying that she wanted to just look angelic. So I took that as the inspiration for the white liner. So yeah, I'm just trying to get my line straight, child, because she was blinking, that eye was twitching, my hand was shaking, the eyeliner wasn't cooperating. So yeah, that's all I'm doing. And also notice how I move my client's head how I need it to be. If I need to put her head up or to the side, I'm gonna move her around because I got to get in there. So yeah, I'm just gonna be quiet now so you guys can watch me get it, try to get it even. It wasn't even on the original look that I did. I've done this look so many times this year with or without rhinestones, but on the look that we're creating specifically, it wasn't even either. And I've really like have taught myself to not be, I'm a very anal person, I'm a perfectionist, and I'm my biggest critic, and I had to teach myself like how to walk away from like minor errors. And this was something that was really like bothering me because I could not get it even. Like it was almost there, but it just wasn't quite there. So, you know, I decided that I was gonna take a break away from it. I went in with the Bobbi Brown. This is the enriched cream. You guys have seen this on my channel, the vitamin enriched face base. So this is the travel size, which lasts a couple of months. It's $20. So I'm gonna press that into her skin, and I use a good amount because I want her to be very, very moisturized. So I press it into her skin. I'm gonna let that settle into the skin while I finish up the liner. I'm gonna go into the black liner. We're gonna line the eye, and yeah, it's gonna be some mistakes because like I said, her eye is moving around, but it's gonna be perfectly fine. I am using my thumb to kind of press down on her eye, not with crazy pressure, like just enough pressure so that when she blinks there isn't much movement on her lid. I want to have control of the situation, so I'm going to use my finger to kind of apply that pressure just so I could get through the liner. So I did make a couple of mistakes like I said, but you have to learn when to, you have to learn when something that seems like it's worth fixating on is actually very minuscule and move on from it. So I lined one eye, then you're gonna see me go to line the other eye. It's not gonna be even, child. It wasn't even on the look that I'm recreating, but in the end, nobody knew. So nobody ever knows. You as an artist, you see things differently than your client or than somebody else because perspective is everything. Once I have the liner on, I'm gonna just go in with some glue. I'm gonna do a big dot kind of towards a little past the center. So when I do my dots of glue, it's an indication to me on what size gem I'm gonna be placed on the eye. And I'm using the Sephora Precision eyeliner. This is the only eyeliner I use. I love this eyeliner so much. I am looking for an eyeliner like in a pen style, because I need an eyeliner in a pen style for certain things that I want to do. So yeah, I'm on the lookout for that. But as far as like a liquid, like freehand eyeliner, Sephora Precision, top notch, best on the market. I'm so sorry, I'm not sorry. So yeah, we're gonna go on this side. It's not gonna be even, it's gonna be close. We're gonna try to get it together. So for gems, like I said, we're gonna start off with the 2 big gems, and then everywhere else I'm just gonna apply the glue and just go from there. I am using loose gems for this look. Everybody is asking me about the gems, you guys. It is gonna be a part of my new brand, and I have just been busy curating the best gems. I want my gems to be the quality of a Swarovski crystal without the cost. So I've been trying numerous different gems, and it's something that I can't rush. Like, you just can't rush the quality. So yeah, when I do my gems now, I do whatever I do on this eye, I come on the other side to do the other eye, and it's just back and forth, back and forth. I do a variation of colors and sizes, rhinestones and pearls. Okay, so once I have that done, I'm gonna go in to finish up my skin prep, and I'm using the Milk primer. We all know what this looks like, and I apply that mostly on the center of her skin. For foundations, I am mixing 3 foundations. I typically mix 2 to 3 foundations on all of my clients to get the best match. And I'm using NARS and Makeup Revolution. So the darkest shade is Nambia, and then we have Macao, and then we have this shade from Makeup Revolution. Makeup Revolution is a very, very matte foundation, which is oil free. The Natural Radiant Foundation, it's a radiant foundation. I like to mix these two together because I like a velvety skin finish. It's like a soft, it's not even really soft matte, but like, I just love to mix a matte foundation and a foundation that's a bit more emollient to get the look that I'm going for. And then for under eye concealer, I have been loving these L'Oreal Infallible concealers. I have been using them for quite some time now. Quite some time, a month. So this is 385 Amber, and it is pretty light, which is why I put the Macao in between the perimeter of her face. So it's gonna be the darkest color on the outside of the face. Inside of the face is like that bridge, because that highlighter is super bright, and we just cannot go from dark to light. But yeah, this is what the concealer looks like. It's not yellow, it's not pink, it's the perfect shade. For her foundation, I am using this super cheap brush by Urban Studio, and it's sold on Shop Miss A. I got a bunch of these brushes last year. It's actually a contour brush, but y'all know that I live for a angled, flat, dense brush for foundation. Like, I just love the finish, especially when I'm going for something medium or full coverage. To blend out her concealer, I'm going straight in with my Shop Miss A Beauty Blender. I'm no longer using a brush these days. I don't know, I'm back to just using the Beauty Blender underneath the eye. Sometimes we switch things up. So yeah, I'm gonna blend that concealer in, and my Beauty Blender is damp. And this concealer is matte, but I feel like it's not like a drying matte, but it can dry down fast on the skin. Like, you don't have to work like super fast, but just note that, you know, it's not like Born This Way. Like, Born This Way can sit on the face for half an hour and it won't be dry down. Like, no shade, but you know what I mean? Like, but it doesn't dry super fast like the e.l.f. concealer would dry. I mean, I hope I'm making sense. I'm trying to explain it the best way I can, but I can't find the right words. So yeah, I'm just gonna use my Beauty Blender, and I'm just blending out the product on the forehead. I also did a little bit on her chin, and of course the under eye. Now I'm gonna just go in to finish up her eyebrows, because I didn't finish the eyebrows all the way initially. Now we're gonna go in for our second round of highlight, and we're also gonna be doing our contour and bronzer. I love to do a liquid or a cream contour. I'm using, again, the L'Oreal concealers, the infallible concealers, and I'm using the bronzer shade in Coffee Cafe, and then her contour shade is Truffle. So I'm just going to swatch it on my hands for you to see what it would look like on a similar skin tone. But yeah, I love these concealers for my contour as well. But I will say that, I don't know, the darker shade seems to be a little bit different in texture. I don't know if mine are old, but I noticed the lighter shades in this concealer, like the consistency is a bit more creamy. The darker shades, like they're a bit like thicker and drier. But this is what it looks like. And I'm using, again, another Shop Miss A brush. I'm using a dome shaped brush because when I'm doing like a cream or liquid bronzer and contour, and I'm like, I want to just get it over with, like rush it, I use a dome shaped brush because the brush is so big that it just spreads the product out faster for me. And I'm just going in with my foundation brush in between to just clean things up and make sure things are blended all the way through. I'm gonna go in with the same damp beauty blender again to blend out that lighter shade. And for the lightest shade of concealer, again, L'Oreal Infallible, and I'm using the shade Eggshell, and it's a really, really light concealer shade. But as you can see, like in the video, again, it's not too yellow and it's not too pink. It's literally right in between. It's like their concealers are very neutral, at least the lighter shades are. So I'm just feeling that neutral under eye these days. I don't know, like I'm not into anything too yellow, and I never really been one for a pink under eye, but I am feeling the neutral look for now. Also, I'm just making sure that I'm blending that lighter shade on the nose and on the forehead as well. And I'm just gonna go back and forth with my foundation brush, like I said, just to make sure everything is nice and blended. I'm trying to avoid any harsh lines. Now for under eye is really interesting because I've said out loud so many times how I don't like the Laura Mercier, like the setting powder. This is translucent. I have all of them. I have a lot of makeup. I just have a lot of makeup in this room, and sometimes like on my workstation I'll randomly pull something out and say I'm gonna see how I like this. And I did that one day with the Laura Mercier. This is translucent. I didn't pull honey out for whatever reason. I pulled this one out, and I've been mixing it with Sacha Buttercup, and I'll mix it with Kunafa, either or sometimes both. I've been loving it. For cream blush, we're gonna go in with the Plouise. This is one of the eye bases, but you can use this anywhere on the face, really. And this is in the shade Poppin Pink. It looks like this. You typically want to do this before you've added any powder to the face, because as you can see, she dries down fast and it's a bit hard to blend, but you know, we got her done. Sometimes I forget, so I do have to do it after the powder, but this is what the color looks like on my hands. But we all know that pink, really, really pink blush is trending right now, so this will be my fall pink color. I was using something else during the summer and spring. So now we're going in to bronze her skin. So for her bronzer, I'm going into this Sephora palette, and I'm using this shade here, which is very similar to Laguna from NARS. I just think it's a tad bit darker. Unfortunately, this palette is no longer for sale on Sephora, and I am using, I don't know if I mentioned it already, but the brush that I'm using is a cheap brush from Shop Miss A. Child, it's gonna be down below. So I'm gonna go in with my Laura Mercier mix that I spoke about earlier before, and I'm gonna take some powder underneath the hollow of her cheek, because I want to just start to like bring that cheek in some more. For blush, I'm going into another Sephora palette, but this is just the medium one, and I'm going to be using this pink blush on her skin. Child, this pink on brown skin, chef's kiss. So once I have blushed her skin, I'm just gonna go in with the Morphe spray, and I'm gonna spray her face down a lot. She does have more of a dry skin, and we did use a significant amount of powder, so I just want to make sure that we're bringing that moisture back into her skin. And I'm just gonna take my brushes again to make sure everything is nice and blended around the edges. Okay, so the second pink blush that I'm gonna use, I actually use it as a blush and a highlighter. It is pink, so it doesn't really read as highlight as much, but it is the Milani Dolce Pink blush. This is an oldie. We all know about her. She's that girl. For lip liner, I'm gonna go in with the Sephora brand lip liner in the shade Molasses, and I am gonna slightly overline. For her waterline, I'm going in with some Plouise. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying before, I use the Louise cosmetic bases. I'll show you guys the packaging in a moment, but I mixed my colors to give myself custom shades. So I mixed these two shades to get me this, which is like a, it's like a grayish, I don't know, child. It's something, but it gave. So on her eye, what I did was I bought the waterline color to her lash line. In the original look, I just kept the color in her waterline because that suited her eye shape more. This girl has bigger eyes and I want to make her eyes appear bigger, so that's why I'm bringing that into her lash line as well. For her lips, I'm just gonna go in with the MAC lipstick in the shade Shy Girl, which is my, it has been my go-to. I think it's because it's my go-to for myself, and sometimes the way I do my makeup, certain things about what I do, I'm gonna like do it on my clients. So this has been my go-to lipstick this fall, and so I got one for my clients, and I just love it. Just looks very effortless, and I love that about this lip shade. So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of highlighter, and I'm again going into that Sephora Pro palette. I'm so sorry, but it's just a pink tone highlighter. Then I'm gonna just go in with a little bit of a clear gloss to set the lip off. It's given. We're going to hit the lash line up. I love to use, it's like a fan brush. This one in particular is from Beige Cosmetics. I don't know if they still sell it, but I love to use a fan brush to define my lash line. And I am actually using the Bobbi Buttes Nude Persuasion palette for her lash line shade. I'm using the color Caramel, which looks like this. And then I use a little bit of the brown in the outer corner, I believe, just to define that lash line, that bottom lash line, because the top is really heavy. We have a thick black liner, a thick white liner, and we have different size gems, so it's a lot of texture. I like to do something on the bottom to balance it out. Now I'm going to set her face, and I'm using the MAC Pro Longwear foundation in NW50. I'm gonna add some gems on the bottom to tie up the look. Remember, the girl said she wanted to look angelic. Honey, what's more angelic than this? I don't know. I can name a couple of things, but you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. And I'm again spraying her down with the Morphe Continuous Spray, and then I also top that off with the L'Oreal Infallible Setting Spray as well, because I like that spray. I've always liked that spray, so I just reincorporated it, and this is what it looks like, y'all. Flo Milli shit. No, doesn't she look like Flo Milli? She looks like Flo Milli and Cash Doll. But yeah, I absolutely loved how this makeup turned out. This is how it looks on mine. I turned 2 of my studio lights off, so the room got a bit darker. But, and then, you know, we have our cell phone footage. So let me watch this with y'all. This is what it's looking like. Wow. I love this look so much. Tell me what you guys think. Did you like this video? I hope you did, because I did. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.